Hi, my name is Casey Fleming. I'm the author of The Loan Guide, How to Get the Best Possible Mortgage, and I'm a working mortgage advisor. You now know what costs are involved in originating your loan, and you know that you can choose how to pay for these costs. You also have an option to buy down your interest rate if you wish. Let's see how that works and why you might want to do it. Going back to our previous example in our videos on closing costs, let's say you have this much in origination costs and are going to pay this much every month for the rest of your life. Well, in this example, for the next 10 years anyway. It turns out that you can pay some additional money up front and buy down the interest rate if you want lower payments. Money paid now buys lower payments for the life of the loan. This impacts the lifetime cost of your loan in two ways. First, obviously, you'll have lower mortgage payments, but your monthly payments last a lifetime, so you'll have more money in your pocket after a few years. So, if you pay points up front, your mortgage payments will be less, and after a few years, you will get your investment in the points back, and the lower payments from then on are all savings. To understand this next point, you'll need to remember that your mortgage payment is not all cost. Some of it goes to pay interest for renting the money. That's a cost. Some of it, not much at first, but more in later years, goes to paying down the principal balance of your mortgage. Therefore, it's not a cost, it's actually an investment. You're moving money from your pocket to the equity in your home. The longer you pay the mortgage, the less of your payment goes to interest and the more to principal. This row of money, therefore, is the interest you pay to rent the money. And this row of payments is the money you invest in your equity. But here's the thing, when we pay money up front to buy the interest rate down, the savings in our monthly payment doesn't come out of the principal portion because we still have to pay back the same amount. It comes out of the interest portion. So here's how paying points work. When you pay points, the money actually comes out of your interest portion of your payments, not the principal portion of your payments. So what does that look like? Well, you're prepaying some of your interest by essentially borrowing interest from future payments and paying them up front. What you'll notice, however, is you don't need more than the first few years' worth of interest to pay for the upfront points, but your payments are low for the lifetime. This means that you save money for the last remaining few years, and this money simply goes into your savings account. Keeping that in mind, the second impact paying points has on our lifetime costs is that the lower our interest rate, the more of our payment goes to paying principal on our loan. Even though we have a smaller payment, more of our money is going to buying equity in our property. Eventually, we will pay the loan off either way and owe zero. But the lower the interest rate, all things being equal, the more equity we will have in our home after our first payment until the very last. So if this is why you want to pay points to buy down your interest rate, how do you do it? Your lender should give you the option to get a lower interest rate by paying a discount fee or points. The discount means that the interest rate is discounted in exchange for paying some of the interest in advance. The advance payment of interest in this case is commonly called points. When you are given a disclosure regarding your options for paying your interest rate, this will be called your cost for the interest rate chosen. Discount fee, points, cost for the interest rate chosen, they're all the same thing. Why don't we pick one name and stick with it? Well, there used to be more differentiation, but today regulations mean we all have to price loans in about the same manner. And besides, that would make it too easy. How do you know if you should buy the interest rate down? Most folks would look at the APR or annual percentage rate. If you compare a loan with 0 points to one with a lower interest rate with some discount fee, the one with the discount fee will nearly always have a lower APR. However, when the APR was developed, most folks got a loan, made the payments exactly according to the terms of the note, and burned their mortgage at the end of 15 or 20 years. Ask your grandma if you don't believe me. If you do that, the APR will end up being an accurate measure of the relative costs of your options. But most folks don't do that today. After a few years, most folks either refinance, sell the home to buy another, or win the lottery and pay off the loan. If you don't keep the loan for the full term in your note, then the APR is not an accurate reflection of the cost of your loan. Fortunately, there's a solution. We need to calculate the lifetime costs of each option over the holding period. First, estimate how long you think you might keep the loan based on your long-term plans. You might pay it off early because you'll sell and move, or because you might remodel, or because you might be getting a loan you consider temporary now, with plans to get a more permanent loan later. We'll call this your holding period. 2, for each of the options, calculate the amount of interest you'll pay over your intended holding period. The math is a little complicated, but not impossible. You can ask your loan officer to do it for you. If he doesn't know how, get a new loan officer. And 3, add the interest you'll pay over your holding period to the upfront cost for each option. That's the total cost of each option over your holding period. Obviously, lower is better. Honestly, paying points to buy down your rate is not for everyone, even when it does result in less money out of your pocket over your anticipated holding period. However, you do have the option and you should understand it. My name is Casey Fleming. I'm a working mortgage advisor, and my book, The Loan Guide, How to Get the Best Possible Mortgage, is available on Amazon. If you found these tips about closing costs valuable and would like to learn more about mortgages, please visit my website at www.loanguide.com, and please feel free to leave comments below.